Hey, got another rapid game here. We've got a Slav defense. I am playing a 1917. Alright, we're going to try knight f3 this time. I think in a recent tournament game I played knight c3. And as often happens when black takes a pawn on c4, I am out of book. Okay, so we could play e3 here maybe, or e4. I suspect the move is e4, but it's probably pretty theoretical, so I'm going to play this, and after his b5, I'm going to try to break down his pawns on the queen side. Could I play knight e5 here, or is that too slow? My idea is queen to f3 afterwards, going after this c6 pawn. Probably too slow. I should probably play b3 or a4. Alright, I'm going to try b3. And after c takes b3, I think I'm taking back with the queen, looking to find compensation for my lost pawn in the form of piece activity. I wonder though if I should take back with the pawn and then put that pawn on b4, and that will activate the rook and will give me c5 as an outpost. It will keep this c pawn as a big target on c6. I'm not sure. Let's try it. He's not going c5 soon because this b pawn hangs. How am I going to get a knight to c5? I guess it's going to have to be through the d2 square. And perhaps I'd like to stick this bishop on a3 because that looks at c5, and when he moves his e-pawn I can trade on f8. But then if I'm playing b4 later, it looks kind of weird. So I'm just going to play b4 right now. Yeah. Of course he's just going to do that, isn't he? And what if I go queen b3 to defend the pawn? He may play queen d5. If I then trade, he'll take back with his c-pawn, I think, and he's kind of just up a pawn there. Maybe I should have played bishop a3 after all. But I mean, I still have that c5 square, so let's try to make that worth a pawn. Okay, maybe bishop to d3 here so that I take the e4 square away from him, and then I'm going knight b2, knight e4. He wants to stick his knight on d5, of course. This looks like just a bad position, doesn't it? Okay, let's go bishop d3. And if he goes knight bd5, I will go bishop d2. I also like to just castle here. So would he. So let's get the kings out of the way. And then I could also go knight c3, knight e4. Yeah, knight c3 allows me to respond to knight d5 with a capture if I want to do that. After knight d5, okay, he is going to play like that. I think we're just going to play knight e4. And assuming he trades there, I'm opposing his light squared bishop. And later I hope to move my knight somehow to c5, maybe through the e1 and d2 squares. Okay, but so far it's tricky. I'm going to have to defend this again. I guess we'll go with bishop to d2. maybe I'll use that e1 square for the knight. There's no way for him to play c5, right? So I think I should move this rook to the c file and then look to get my knight to c5. Although he could come into c4 or a4. Okay, well, I think he needs to defend his c-pawn first. And now, knight e1, knight b6, knight c4, knight d3, knight c4, bishop e1. We're going to give that a shot. And I may be obligated to take this, although I could also defend the pawn. Oh, I can defend the pawn with knight d3, of course. Yeah. I think he should have put the knight on c4 instead. I think black's still better because I haven't shown compensation for a pawn. But he does have to deal with this very bad bishop on b7 and with backwards pawns on the a and c files. Oh, yeah, and I have to watch out for this move as well. Okay, so he's looking to just take my h2 pawn. Would I rather play h3 or g3? G3 looks kind of solid. Just to make sure this bishop doesn't end up hanging on f3. And he's right back to there. Okay, I can go knight c5 now, and if he takes, I can play rook takes c5. That looks decent to me. My pieces are getting pretty active. Maybe e4 is on the docket. Alright, rook takes c5. And now I have two bishops for a bishop and knight, which means if I can open the center of the board, which is also already kind of open, I'll have a pretty good position, I think. The way to eject his knight from the center of the board and start to open things up is e4. So I shall be doing that sometime soon. Alright, we just want to go bishop g2, I think. And e4, especially now that his knight doesn't have the f6 square. e4, e5. It looks really normal to me. Okay, we're going e4. Really? Okay. So the queen can't get back now. Maybe I just continue to improve my pieces, though, with bishop to e3, protecting my d-pawn. That looks fine to me. And he didn't move his knight somewhere from which it's going to be able to maneuver itself to attack c5, so I think knight e7 was not a good move. Gotta be careful about this. So I'm going to get this rook over to the c file as soon as I can. Maybe then I'm threatening e5, kicking his queen out of the way and taking the pawn on c6. h5. I don't have a lot of time left, so I'll go rook ac1. h4. I don't think this really threatens anything. Oh, but I don't really have e5. Oh, you know what I have here maybe is bishop to g5. And the queen... Oh yeah, the queen can't... If she takes on d4, don't I just win this knight on e7. In fact, I probably had that move on the previous move, although no, because the rook was hanging on a1. should be winning a piece here. And that kind of turns the tables, of course. So now white is ahead. Maybe taking back with the queen is an idea, and then going after g7, like playing e5 and bishop to f6. He can take on b4, I go bishop f6, and he's probably already toast, so I actually kind of like this. Yeah, bishop f6. Okay, and queen h4 to h8. Doesn't look like he can stop mate with anything but queen e1 check. Alrighty, so we are up 14 points to 2074, I assume. Still on a mini quest to 2100. Thank you for watching.